Hey everybody, how's it going? I used to have a series in this channel called Business Advice, and I put a lot into it in 2013 and 14, but stopped as I got busier with board repairs and everything else. There's a lot that I've learned from what I've done correctly, but there's also a lot more that I've learned from mistakes that caused catastrophic business failures that I had to live through and pay for. And some of these business mistakes I paid for in money, some of them I paid for in time, as you can see from these black holes that are underneath each of my eyeballs. Luckily, even when I failed miserably, I never failed badly enough that I had to go back to working for the man, wearing a name tag, putting price tags on basketballs at Model Sporting Goods. But just because I didn't fail so terribly that I was forced to go back to having a normal job doesn't mean that they weren't terrible business failures. So I'd like to try and start contributing to that series again. Now, one of the comments I used to see a lot in Facebook groups when I was posting to them before I deleted my Facebook account entirely was that people only leave bad reviews. They don't leave good reviews. If somebody's really mad or they hate a service, they're going to leave a bad review. However, if they receive good service, they're never going to leave a good review. It's only when people are angry that they leave reviews. Now, I always used to push back against this because I think that people's definition of good may not be what is necessary to get a positive review. And I'm trying to walk people through how it is you can earn yourself a 5-star review, even if you're not a people person, because I'm not a people person, even if you're extremely socially awkward, I'm extremely socially awkward, and even if you come off as an asshole, because as many people have told me, I come off as an asshole, even when I'm not trying to. So when it comes to reviews, it's not about just doing the job that you're asked and doing it properly. What you need to do is you need to exceed someone's expectations in a way that makes their life in general easier. Not even do what they ask, just go above and beyond to figure out what it is that brought them to you to begin with, what all their concerns were, and address every single one of them. Ensure that that person leaves with zero stress, feeling actually enlightened for the fact that they came to you. People will always leave a 5-star when they have that experience. In my experience, at least, they'll always leave a 5-star when you do that. If they show up for an iPhone screen repair and you do it in the time frame allotted, and you use the part that was allotted, and you use the screen that was allotted, it's boring. People don't leave 5 stars for getting what they paid for. They leave 5 stars for getting something above and beyond that. So I wanted to use an example here. Now, admittedly, I cannot guarantee that this is the person who left it, but literally seconds after getting off with the phone with this person, I got an alert on my phone that I got a 5-star Google review from somebody, so I'm making the assumption that it was this individual. But I've had many experiences like this where I knew after the call was done that I was getting a 5-star regardless of whether they came into the store. And this being the case, I wanted to share it because I think there are a couple of lessons that can be learned from it. The first lesson to be learned from it, as you should have probably learned from my review of the Shure RMCE2 Bluetooth headset, is never use the microphone built into the Shure Bluetooth cable for a business phone call. It sounds like crap. I know it sounds like crap. You don't have to remind me it sounds like crap. I am no longer using that ever again for business phone calls. A $30 refurbished Jabra off eBay that includes the headphones has better microphone quality than that $150 cable, just the cable. Anyway, so let's move on to this phone call, and I'll explain what's going on at the end of it and why I believe that this type of approach leads to positive customer experiences and also tear down bit by bit what it is that I was trying to provide to earn that 5-star experience.
How can I help you?
Hello. Quick question. So my MacBook Pro 2015 15-inch screen, the magnet inside the screen bezel is lost its magnetism. So as a result, when I close the lid, it failed to trigger the sleep function of the computer, and my battery draining. So how much would it cost to replace the magnet inside the screen assembly?
That magnet never dies. It's going to be a problem with the board reading it. So there's a hall sensor on the board that reads the magnet, and usually it's an issue with the hall sensor.
Yeah. So sorry to interrupt.
No. Yeah, and in terms of, you said the battery is dying fast?
Yeah, because the problem is I have 2 screens. So the first screen, I dropped the first one. It's broken, but the magnet works fine. When I close the lid, it's completely closed and both sides belong to the body. But the second screen I bought off eBay.
Okay, now this makes more sense. So I think I can give an explanation of what happened. So when replacing the screen, there's adhesive on You replaced the assembly, you're right, correct? The thing that has the hinges and everything attached to it?
Yeah, the whole
Okay.
assembly.
Yeah. So when you replace that, so somebody replaced the LCD by itself on the assembly they sold you. And when they do that, the little magnet is attached to the screen with adhesive. And if you're new, or this is your first time, their first time refurbishing one of these, what they probably did is they threw the magnet away. So there's no magnet in there. In terms of putting a new magnet in there, that's impossible because you're going to wind up breaking the LCD. And that LCD, which used to be $75, because it's discontinued, now costs over $300 and nobody has it. So you'd be stuck replacing the entire display assembly. So what I would do there is I would return the screen to the guy on eBay and say, you fucked up while refurbishing this, give me my money back. And then buy the screen from somebody else that actually, that sells a proper one. So because the thing is, anybody who opens that screen to put a magnet in there is going to break it. It's not made to be removed without breaking. It's not possible. So, but the thing is, that's not your problem. That's the problem of the person that sold you the piece of shit to begin with. So how much did you pay for the screen that has the magnet issue?
Well, it stated brand new, so I paid $500.
Okay, so it sounds like you got fucked. So the thing is, this is actually not a terrible thing, because you bought it on eBay. eBay will allow buyers to return anything for any reason. You could literally send this guy back a brick in the box and still get your money back. So you need to get your money back from that person, because not only is what they sold you not new, it's also poorly refurbished. You said your model was late 2012, right?
Yes.
Yeah, there's no such thing as new. New LCDs for that stopped being available in 2014. Even if there was spare part supply still left somewhere, like in 2015, or maybe it trickled through in 2016, there's no way in hell that shit's new in 2019. So they're taking you for a ride. Not only is it a refurb, it's a poor quality refurb where the jackass who did it fucked up the magnet. I know because I've done that myself, and I've had to open the screen and curse at them doing it and redo it from scratch. So ask for a return. Be polite. Just say this screen has no magnet in it. And if he gives you any shit, file a PayPal claim and an eBay claim immediately. You'll get all your money back. You're going to have to settle for a screen that's minorly used. So you're probably going to be paying around $350 to $400. There's no such thing as new. I would suggest the site, if you can take it down. It's called ProTech Restore. Every now and then they have deals where you can buy the assembly for $350. It's less than $500, and they're a website that doesn't sell shit like the one that like eBay. It's called ProTech Restore. It's a kind of crappy looking website, but you can get a good display assembly from there.
Okay.
Now, so that brings you to the battery. So how comfortable are you replacing your own battery?
The battery is good. Because the batteries only have a 300 charging cycle on it, so it's still holding up charge.
Did you say it was dying fast or not charging? I'm sorry, I forget.
300 charge cycle. It's having 300 charge cycle.
So then you had mentioned an issue with battery charging in the beginning. Can you clarify what that was for me, or did I miss you?
No. I was just saying that because of the screen is not, because of the computer does not sleep properly, it's draining the battery. While
okay. So I misheard you. My apologies for that. So your only problem was with that screen, and you're going to solve that by returning it, filing a PayPal claim. I'm sorry, that's a waste of time, but it's going to be. But you got something defective, so you file a PayPal claim, and then after you're done with that, you are going to buy another screen from the website I gave you called ProTech Restore. At the end of the day, you're probably going to wind up saving $100 over what you paid for the piece of shit screen, and you'll get a screen that actually works. So that'll solve all your problems, and it won't cost you any money.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, no worries. You have a good day, and if you have any questions, feel free to call back.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right, bye-bye.
So the first thing is that the customer asked me about the magnet in their screen. Now, I could say, well, I cannot do that without a screen replacement, and that would be $400 to $500. And that would be it. And they would say, thank you, hang up, and that would be the end of it. Technically, I did what they asked. I provided them a price quote for what they asked. But rather than provide them a price quote for what was asked, I realized that what they were asking for was a little off kilter. Nobody asked me to replace a magnet in the screen. Something's going funny here. So I asked, why is it that you need this? What is it that led you to this situation? And then I figured out, oh, okay, so this is what you did. Then you use industry experience to figure out what it is the customer probably actually means. They screwed up their machine. They bought a part on eBay. Means they probably bought from an idiot. They bought the part on eBay. The part that they got on eBay had a missing piece in it. I know that because I, being an idiot, have several times replaced the screen only to close it and go, yes, I can put it back in the slot now. And I closed the machine back when I used to do screen repairs in 2012 and 13 before I had lots of employees. And I would see the Apple logo was still on. And I go, fuck. And I go looking for the sleep magnet everywhere on my desk, find a magnet, and put it in there. I explain to him that this is what's going on. I also explain to him that if this is the case, where'd you buy it from, how long ago, all this other stuff. Oh, you're eligible for a full refund. In addition to that, here's where you can buy a screen that is actually better. So he called me expecting to pay money for a repair. He got off the phone realizing that he actually had a reason to save $150 over what he spent. So he called expecting to spend money. He wound up saving money and getting a solution to his problem, and now he is a happy camper. I technically, if I was just some franchise employee, I would look through this rate sheet, screen, this much, or I would have escalated to a supervisor and said, how much to replace the magnet in the screen? They can't do that without replacing the screen. Okay, so it's a screen? Yeah. $400 to $500 for screen. And now technically, I didn't do anything wrong. To do that, you're going to have to replace the screen. But is that a 5-star experience? Do you expect a customer to leave a 5-star review thinking, wow, I called that business and they read the service that it was required of me off of the price sheet? Yay. Let me register a Google account. Let me register a Yelp account, verify it with my phone, and then spend 10 minutes out of my life that I could spend watching porn or petting my kitty, typing up why I think those people are a great business. Absolutely not. If you want 5-star reviews, you need to earn them. And it's very simple to earn them. I am very socially awkward. I don't get along with people very well. I don't understand people very well. And I come off as an abrasive jackass. In spite of that, even during the period where I was doing all customer service and everything for my business, dating back to 2009, if you really want to arrange those Google reviews by oldest date, you'll see that most of them were positive. And now, even when I answer the phone, being the abrasive jackass that I am with a crappy headset, I'm still able to earn those. It's because what I do is I try to understand where my customer is coming from. What does this person need? Why are they calling me? Not what are they asking for. What led them to call me? What would I do if I was in their situation? And I also want to let them in on what's going on. I don't just want to read off the rate sheet. Here's the way the industry works. Here is exactly how the industry works. Here is the reality of your situation, and here is what I would do if it was my personal machine. Here's why what you're asking me to do is not possible, not only not possible, but not financially viable. Here's why it's not financially viable. Here's the parts availability. I don't bombard them with a bunch of useless, senseless trivia. I don't tell them the LP154WT1TJA1 or whatever is unavailable, and even if you could find that, it ghosts and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to deal with that. I'm just going to explain. I'm going to explain the minimum amount required for them to have a complete understanding of what's going on and also to be able to make a useful decision. And it's something that I wish was occurring when I was dealing with contractors, realtors, or designers. I dealt with a designer that didn't tell me. They said, oh yeah, you may have to edit the CO. I sign a lease and they go, oh yeah, by the way, editing the CO is $20,000. That's aggravating. I email them to ask about colors. I don't hear back from them for 2 or 3 days, and then they just send me 6 or 10 colors, and yeah, that's it. Yeah, just figure it out. That's aggravating. You wanted $7,000 for choosing colors. I have a contractor right now for the store. Many people said if you're going to put a floor in like that, you should get some insulation under there. Make sure you get some insulation under there so that when you're walking around, you hear bump, bump, bump. They closed up the floor with no insulation, and they used nails instead of screws, which means that that floor in my office, if I want insulation in it, I got to tear it up. Hey, you didn't ask for insulation. You didn't ask for insulation. Yeah, that's why I'm paying you, contractor. The person that I did not lowball once, because I told you I want this done. I want it done right. Here's what I'm looking for. I don't know. I don't know that Protect Restore exists and that I could have gotten a screen in better condition for $150 less. I don't know that I'm entitled to a refund for the thing that I got. I don't know that that magnet is not something that wears out, but rather that the jackass that refurbished that new screen, forgot to put the magnet in, and unlike me, who has a sense of pride in his work and shame giving a customer back something that when you close it still has the Apple logo running, that I'll actually stay there instead of eating lunch or finishing my food or enjoying my life and sit there and pry the whole fucking bezel off again and remove the screen so that I can put the magnet in there because that's my fucking job. So many people these days don't understand why it is they're not getting 5-star reviews. It's not even that they're not getting 1 stars. They just go, how dare I have 0 reviews? How dare nobody have rated me? How dare I not have a 5 or 4.5 star Yelp or 4.9 star Google? Have you earned it? Have you put the effort in to make sure that everybody who walks in understands your business? Not just that they understand your business, but that you guide them the same way you wish someone was guiding you if you were in their shoes. That you're not just reading off a rate sheet, that you're not just saying, did what was asked. That's it. You didn't ask me to put screws in the floor instead of nails. You didn't ask me to do that so that if I didn't put insulation in there, that you wouldn't have to pay thousands of dollars to rip it up again to put insulation in there in your office. You didn't ask me to not smoke fucking cigarettes and leave cigarette butts lying all over the floor and then show up an hour and a half late to a meeting today and then wonder why Steve and I were mad at you. I don't want to have a heart attack from high blood pressure, so I'm going to stop thinking about my contractor. Let's keep this to what it's about. Let's keep this about the reviews. If you don't have those reviews, I want you to think about what it feels like to be in the shoes of every customer that walks into your repair shop. What does it feel like to be them? What does it feel like to realize that you just spilled something on something, that you have a paper that is due tomorrow morning, and you need the date off of it? But you can't pay for data recovery because you don't have the money to pay for data recovery plus the repair. But the repair is going to be done in 5 to 7 days, and you need this tomorrow. Are you going to read off a rate sheet and say, data recovery takes 2 to 3 business days and costs $100. Board repair takes 2 to 5 business days and costs $325. We have quoted you the rates. No. Or are you going to do something like, well, here's what I can do for you. There's a machine in the window. No, listen, nobody's here and looking to buy that at the moment. How about this? Can you email yourself that file if I put your SSD in that machine while I get to work on this? I'm not going to have to spend a lot of time copying data off, so this way I'm not going to have to charge you for the data recovery, but you're also not going to have to pay for data recovery on top of fixing this machine, and I'm not going to have to waste my time plugging it in, making a total image of all your stuff, making sure everything's there, giving you one of my drives, so I'm not going to have to charge you for it. So here's a screwdriver. Open the bottom of that machine. Just take this SSD out, put this in. Here's a link to an iFixit guide. You can use my table while I get to work fixing your machine. Which one is going to earn you a 5-star, and which one is going to have you being one of the 4 repair shops in the 7 years that I've been open in this location that went out of business? Just saying. That's it for today, and as always, I hope you learned something. I'm going to try to list more stuff in this business advice playlist, whether it's me talking about the things that I think helped me and made me successful, or the things to avoid doing that caused me to not be successful. There are many people that say mistakenly that I'm a millionaire. Perhaps they're just angry. Maybe they're jealous. Maybe they're just raging because I don't know. But a lot of people think I'm a millionaire. The reality is that if I didn't make the mistakes that I made over the last 11 years, I could have been a multimillionaire. I could have been a many multimillionaire. But I made certain mistakes, and I did certain things wrong that I shouldn't have done wrong, that if I didn't do wrong, maybe I would be much better off than I am right now. And I'm hoping that I can make more videos where people can learn from this. I did some videos about why my supply company failed. I also did a video on how I was wrong about iCrack that I would highly suggest checking out. I'm not ashamed to admit where I have failed, where I let my ego get the best of me, where I got caught up in the influence of someone that I shouldn't have got caught up in. Because frankly, when you have those types of just gut punch failures where you lose 4 or 5 or 6 figures worth of money, or you destroy a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, that type of stuff can make you incredibly depressed, besides the fact that it can make you go financially broke. And I'd like to see as many people avoid that as possible. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I hope you learned something.